Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new Gentech PC product showcase. Today in our video we'll be featuring the GT60 Dominator Pro 3K and also the non-Pro Dominator model with the standard 1920 by 1080 screen. We'll be covering the various hardware differences between these two models as we go through the review video, but both of these do have the new GTX800 series NVIDIA video cards. We'll go ahead and kick things off with a simple unboxing and we'll show you what you're going to get inside with the Dominator Pro 3K. As per usual, you can expect a double box shipping method, and this of course keeps things a lot safer during shipping. Inside you're going to have your black and red MSI gaming laptop box. Our standard logo is on the outside, the gaming logo, Killer, Dynaudio, SteelSeries, all of those logos are on there. Flipping open the top of the box, we'll see that we have immediate access to the laptop. On the left and right sides, we have the cardboard wings, that's for shock damage and to keep the laptop stabilized. And then we have the cloth and plastic covering over the laptop to prevent it from any kind of scratches. Once we get all the protective covering off, you can get the first look at the GT60 Dominator Pro with the 3K screen. Those who have looked at or owned previous MSI gaming laptop models will know that the outside appearances are quite the same. It of course is the hardware inside that has been refreshed and updated. Now let's go ahead and dive down into the box and look at the rest of our accessories. We're going to get a power cable that plugs into the AC to DC adapter. And we're also going to be getting our system battery. Here is the other half of the power adapter. And the standard package of manuals, warranty information, and driver's discs. And that's going to cover everything within the box of the GT60 Dominator series. We'll save you the time of unboxing the other one and we'll go ahead and move into further review. Here is a first glance side-by-side comparison of the two GT60 Dominator series laptops. As you can see, the Pro 3K has the GTX880 mobile, while the non-Pro has the 870. Both of these do come with the killer networking cards, your SteelSeries keyboards, and the Dynaudio speaker system. If you're curious as to know exactly how much performance you can expect different between the 870 and 880 mobile video cards, we'll go ahead and show you those differences later on when we get to the benchmarking section. For those who use your laptop for both gaming and as a workstation, you might be really interested also in the matrix display feature that allows you to hook up multiple external monitors to get a 3-monitor display setup. Now let's go take a look at that 3K screen offered by the Dominator Pro. As you can see, our native resolution is set in the control panel. And this is indeed a glossy screen, so when you're looking at it at an angle, you will see reflection of the lights and the surroundings around you. On the non-Pro, we have our standard 1080p screen, and this is using a matte display setup. Now let's go take a closer look at that SteelSeries gaming keyboard that both units have. As you can see, we do have our multicolored LED backlit keyboard here. And just above the keyboard, we're going to have our Dynaudio branding, as well as our touch access shortcuts. You can control the turbo boost fans, your system brightness, airplane mode, and many other features just by a single touch of your finger. Now let's go take a glance at the non-Pro GT60. This one is going to be much the same on the outside. We have our same keyboard setup, touchpad, the quick access keys. The only obvious outside thing that you'll see different between the two is of course the LCD screen itself. So let's move into taking a look at the inside of the system now. Right now we're looking at a piece of built-in MSI software. MSI is calling this the Dragon Gaming Center. It is just a nice utility to help get quick access to some of the settings you would normally dive into your control panel for, and also get some really important system information at a glance. Of course, one of the key things implemented into the software is the ability to access not just your standard Windows control panel settings, but also some of the proprietary software that MSI carries, such as control of your multicolored LED backlit keyboard. Now as we continue forward, we'll go ahead and take a look at the System Device Manager and show you the exact hardware you can expect inside of this model. As you can see, we do have the Core i7 4800MQ. We do have integrated Intel graphics for saving power when not necessary to use the dedicated graphics card. On the other side, we have the same for the integrated graphics, the one step down on the nVidia GTX, and also the CPU remains the same. Now that we showed you all the hardware on the inside device manager, let's go ahead and give you a full perimeter view of the laptop and show you all the input and output interfaces. Starting from the front, we're going to have our status LEDs by the touchpad buttons and these small openings to allow the speakers to let sound out of the laptop more efficiently. On the back side of the laptop, you're going to find a Kingston lock port, your power adapter, RJ45 networking, 2 mini display ports, and an HDMI output. The large opening next to that is going to be the main exhaust for the cooling system built into the laptop to cool all of your hardware. The right hand side view is going to show us first 4 audio ports. We get a line out, a line in, headphone output, and microphone input, so that's quite versatile for audio. That's followed by a standard USB 2.0 port, and of course then the optical drive. And the left side is going to show the intake for the cooling system, 2 USB 3.0 ports, a card reader, and then a third and final USB 3.0 port. And with that, we've covered all of the 360-degree view of the Dominator GT60. Now it's time for us to move into the also important benchmarking section. This is where we put these laptops to the test and we get to see just how much performance they can provide, and of course in this case how much of a difference in performance you'd find between the 880 mobile and the 870 mobile. Here on the 880 first, we ran 3D Mark 11 and we got a performance score of 8,452. Also, when it comes to laptops, one of the really important things is not just the performance, but how well the system handles all that performance as far as cooling. Here's the temperature logs for that benchmark, and as you can see, it handled it quite well. Do keep in mind that we had the turbofan feature turned on both machines during the benchmarks, so if you want to try to emulate these results, please keep that in mind. And now it's time to sidestep over to the non-pro model and look at the performance that the 870 mobile was able to give us. There is quite a bit of difference between the onboard video memory of the two. The 870 mobile has a pretty decent 3 GB of onboard video RAM, but the GTX 880 has an obscene 8 GB of onboard video RAM. With those differences stated, here's your performance score for this model. We got a performance score of 7,038. The temperatures logged were quite similar, the CPU about 80 degrees Celsius load, and the GPU down to 70 degrees. Again, we did have the turbofan feature turned on this model as well, so if you want to try to emulate these results, make sure you have that feature turned on. The next benchmark up on the docket is going to be a screen comparison. Without doubt, the 3K screen is going to be getting some attention, and that might be one of the reasons you're looking at the GT60 as a laptop you'd like to purchase. Unfortunately, on video, we're not going to really be able to show you the differences between the two. Keep in mind that when you're playing content like a full HD movie that is only 1080p, you're not going to be gaining any extra detail on the higher resolution screen. The largest benefit you would gain in that type of scenario would be a much denser pixel population, and therefore you would not see that screen door effect quite as easily if you're close to your screen. Those who would benefit the most from the extra screen real estate would be those who actually use it on their desktop or with programs like Photoshop or video editors. Outside of the resolution difference, of course, one of the main things different between the two we already mentioned. The 3K screen is glossy, so it will reflect a lot more light around you. The matte screen on the 1080p screen is not nearly as invasive when it comes to bright lights and reflections. But some people do prefer glossy screens because it tends to give an increase in contrast and saturation and make things pop a little bit more and seem more visually appealing. Which screen type is better, of course, is going to be a personal decision and up to you. And now we're going to approach our final part of the review video and unboxing, and that's the disassembly of both units. You can see the bottom of both units has quite a large number of vents, making it very easy for cooling pads and natural ventilation to keep things cool. We have a fairly easy to remove battery and also a fairly easy to remove system bay door. Once we have removed the necessary screws, it's really easy to lift up that bay door and get full system access. It becomes pretty immediately apparent one of the big differences between the Pro and the non-Pro. Here on the left hand side, we have 3 micro SATA slots with only one occupied with a 128GB micro SATA SSD. So that means you could upgrade to add up to 2 more micro SATA SSDs. Down below in the bottom right hand side is where we have the mechanical hard drive. The GPU and CPU are underneath of the heatsinks, so they're not quite visible, and you see that we have 2 open RAM slots. On the non-Pro, you'll see where those micro SATA slots were is instead a mechanical hard drive, making it not possible for you to upgrade in the same way. You do, however, still have a 2.5-inch bay open, so you can put a standard size solid state disk in here or another mechanical hard drive, and you still have the same 2 RAM slots open. So there are upgrade paths for both laptop models. And now, unfortunately, with the end of the disassembly comes the end of our review. We hope that you enjoyed everything and that we were able to show you the information you needed and answer any questions that you might have had. Of course, keep in mind if you'd like to know more about these systems, we have the full product specifications and the current pricing and availability on our website, so feel free to check that out and get all the information you're looking for. Also, don't forget, if you have any questions or concerns, we're always available to be contacted by phone or email, so just let us know and we'll be sure to get the answers to your questions. So we just want to remind everybody that this was GenTech PC, and we'll see you guys next time.